Most of the time when we do a quiz, we set out to quickly, efficiently capture student knowledge or identify where there are gaps in their knowledge and misunderstandings, etc. And as a result of the information that they provide for us as teachers, we can use that feedback to inform our future teaching. And that's how the cycle works. And in general, it's pretty robust and it's pretty reliable. Although, of course, there are times when we don't know exactly what the student has been thinking and how they've arrived at a given response. And so whilst we can identify misconceptions and gaps in knowledge, we're not entirely sure how those came about. So for example, it could have been that a student misread a question. That's a common feature, isn't it? We know this as teachers, that students often misread the question and therefore they come up with a wrong response, or in this case they might read the wrong response and choose that as what they think is the correct answer. Equally, especially if there's multiple choice questions, yes, no, or multiple correct answers, they might simply guess because they're not entirely sure, and there's no way of us knowing the process they've arrived at their responses. And similarly as well, we all do this. We just make a mistake. We choose the wrong one. And I'm sure there are occasions when we can all think of times when if we meant to choose option 1 and we chose option 2. So whilst we can be fairly confident to an extent upon the reliability of the results we get from our students, we can be quite clever and use the branching function here in quizzes and forms to enable us to get a better understanding of what our students have been thinking about when they arrived at their particular response. Let's just have a quick look at how this works. So we've got question 1 here and we've got the 4 options. Okay, now this could be any type of question. What we do is as usual, we ask the question, student is going to choose, in this case, option 2. And let's have a look at what happens down here when they choose option 2. So select option 2 and then a little window appears here and it says you've answered option 2. Great. Please explain your thinking about how you arrived at this answer. So what we're challenging or encouraging, developing in our students is the ability to reflect and to think about and to articulate their thinking about how they arrived at a particular point. Now, it might be that, of course, well, I just knew that, and that's fine. It might be that they're actually more aware of how they arrived at by saying, well, it could have been option 1 or option 2, but I remember in the lesson we looked at this and it made me choose this point. Or I wasn't sure between option 3 and 4, but I was able to eliminate option 1 because. And that's what we want to try and encourage our students to do, is to really articulate. The terminology we've perhaps come across is Meta-Cognition, them being aware of their thinking and thinking about their thinking and articulating their thinking. If they do that, and we obviously would encourage them to do this over time, this provides really rich information for us as teachers and educators as to how we can help individuals move forward. So now it's not just, well, you chose option 2 and it's wrong. You've given me or explained to me why you've chosen option 2, and I can now help you unpick that misconception, that misunderstanding. So this, I think, is really powerful. It's really rich and it's really straightforward to set up. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to do that.